everyone, it's Libby from Maighstir Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. All right, entertainment only, please take note. I am just a tarot reader sitting at a dining table down under in Australia, throwing some cards and entertaining, hopefully, in one way or the other. So let's have a look with lots of allegedlys, etc. thrown in as well. So what I want to have a look at in this particular reading, and I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot, I'm having a look about why Tesla paid Fleaon $30 billion worth of shares. So it's not cash, it's shares, to supposedly keep him from leaving. Now what this is there is still ongoing the legal fight over his alleged 2018 bonus package, which was deemed to be illegal, and it was appealed, and the ruling was upheld that it was illegal, so I'm not quite sure where it's going there. So basically what's happening is that the board, or should we say Fleaon himself, as being head of the board, awarded him a good faith payment, which is basically the equivalent, so it's the equivalent in value to that 2018 bonus package, and it's basically as a means to get around the case, the court case. So apparently it's similar to a stock option, so it's not like he's just been given the money. It's similar to a stock option. So what happens is that as part of this offering of shares, there is a determined figure of what he has to buy them at, and then a determined figure of what he has to sell them at. From what I understand, I may be completely wrong, but basically it's predetermined prices to buy and sell at. So what I'm getting there, now the stock has gone up slightly, and I believe it has to be sold within a specific time frame, which is really interesting. And what I'm really getting when I was doing some research on this was, and I've noted it down, putting a floor under the stock value. Considering tariffs are supposed to be coming in, which will affect the manufacture of the Teslas significantly, because a lot of its components come from overseas, if not in its raw state, then in its already completed state. So it's putting a floor under the stock value. And what I'm also getting is that part of putting this floor under the stock value is because I gather part of the bastard budget bill that was passed by Congress, they're removing the EV subsidies, or not subsidies as in, money back from the government as well. So what I'm getting is the back up against the wall. This feels really short-term, sort of knee-jerk reaction to all that's happening, because the wealth of the people on the board, the wealth of those involved, relies entirely on the value of the stock. What are they, about $23, $22, $23, something along those lines. So bruised and battered, back up against the wall, trying to put up some sort of stop. Put a plug in it, basically. But I don't know if it's going to work, because that Five of Pentacles, moral, financial, ethical, corruption. Shareholders are yet to vote on this, though. So apparently he's been awarded it, but the shareholders still have to vote on it. So he may not get this if the shareholders deem a no. But what happened is the shares went up, I believe, 6% on this news. So I'm really, really getting it's to put a floor on the stock price. So in regards to the electric vehicles not moving forward, I'm just going to put it, Tesla's sales, basically the only money that Tesla makes from its vehicles is from the government subsidies for being EVs. that were put in place by Joe Biden. It's the only money that they make. There's a lot of negative news coming forward that is going to affect. I was just wondering, it almost looks like a T on the front for Tesla, that's going to affect the company. And now, why am I getting, if you're wondering what that is, this is a fruit smoothie. All sorts of berries, yogurt, and sort of yummy stuff for lunch. Okay. A lot of negative news coming out. Dancing the tune of the devil, basically. Tied themselves to this devil. Fleaon tied himself to the orange twerp, and it's backfired badly. But what's happened is the board of Tesla have become addicted to the value of their stock, and they don't want it to be adversely affected because their net worth is based in their stock. Now, I know that Fleaon declares himself, fully exposed. They're finding themselves fully exposed in their naivety, or is Fleaon's naivety, by tying everything to the orange twerp. Where was I going before that came out, showed itself? Fleaon. Now, if you're wondering who Fleaon is, he's the CEO of Tesla. I call him Fleaon because a certain orange twerp calls him Leon, and Fleaon is the biggest parasite on the back of the US taxpayer there is. If you want to talk about welfare, Fleaon is the queen of welfare. You've got the emperor being in control, my way or the highway, but the crusty older emperor being fully exposed. You've got a steal of some sort here, sword of truth, coming out about the election steal. Now, and the false victory. So this is very much something about the election steal. So why on earth, I will not understand why Tesla does not get rid of Fleaon, because basically he branded him as Tesla, and it is going downhill very quickly, and so is the orange twerp. His health is going downhill very quickly. Fleon's worth, and I suspect the worth of a lot of these directors, is based on the value of the assets that they have. They don't have cash. This is why they don't pay tax. They don't actually get an income. What happens is they take the value of the worth of their assets. So, for example, there's something here in regards to a court case, and this is taxpayers might even bring forward, shareholders might bring forward a court case. Sorry, squirreling off. So people like Fleaon, and Bezos is the same with his shares in Amazon. What they do is they live off the money that they spend on their $50 million weddings or whatever it is not income that they spend. What happens is they take the value of their shares or their assets or whatever it is, value of their companies, and they borrow against it. So therefore, the value needs to keep going up because they get enormous amounts of interest on it. But basically, because they borrow against the value, if the value goes down, there could be calls for them to pay back some of that money. But that's why they don't pay tax, because they don't actually have an income. They're living off borrowings. So it's like if you mortgaged your house and that was the money you spent to live, you don't pay tax on that because that's not income. That's money that's borrowed that you're living off. But basically, using the house analogy, if you do that, it's called reverse mortgages. We have them in Australia. Not widely used. There's a lot of about them because, what happens if the value of the house goes down, or, you've spent your limit and all of a sudden you've got this massive mortgage that you've got to pay back. So what happens is that it's all about the money. It's all about the money, but there might be some legal action being taken here. The shareholders might not approve. So basically the share has to stay up so that they can keep borrowing the money or preferably go up. Occasionally they do sell a few. I gather the board sold out recently, so I'm really getting that this was to put a floor under the share price. And the ability then for Fleaon to borrow, because I don't know that there's something off about this. Okay, so show me this announcement. Paying Fleaon 30 billion with a B worth of shares from Tesla to keep him from leaving. Apparently it's the same amount as the bonus package that was voted against and then got tied up in the courts. What's the future of this? Come on down, let's have a look. Right. The smug merchant sitting there with all his cups lined up in a row, growing fat out of his position, overindulgence, but yeah, just sitting there. But it's also my be careful what you wish for card as well. But yeah, cups are all lined up, sitting there, over bloated. This could even be the share price is just simply over bloated, because I gather the actual value of the stock nowhere near $22, $23 or whatever it is. It's a bit like Untruth Social. The only value in the stock of Untruth Social is the money that gets allegedly laundered into it via it. But it's the orange twerp. Now, when the orange twerp falls off the twig and ends on the wrong side of the grass, there is no Untruth Social, basically. People are only on there for the orange twerp. It's worth about 2 cents in reality instead of whatever price it's selling for. So the over bloated value of the shares is what I'm really getting from that. Stack the deck and overbloat the value. Okay, the challenge is the 10 of Cups. It's not sustainable. A few of you have been chatting to me via email in regards to the fact that Abbott in Texas is going to gerrymander the heck out of Texas. So Newsom's come out and said, well, that's fine, we'll gerrymander the heck out of California and get rid of any red seats in California. That's not sustainable. I'm not disagreeing with Newsom doing it, but what I'm saying is it's a downward spiral action of tit for tat. This bloviating of the share price, its challenge is it will come to an end. It's not sustainable. Oh boy, might come to an end sooner than we think. Or this might simply be Tesla in its current position. I don't think the shareholder is meeting is it in September or something? So not for another month or so, which is when it'll be voted on. But this might be the true position of Tesla is already imploded, exploded, underwater. Okay, so show me. On the back foot, having to defend his position. So this was Fleaon. Does have moderately higher ground, but pushing back on the messaging that's basically saying get rid of Fleaon as the head, defending his position. What else is going to happen? We've got the star. He is the star. He's the face of Tesla, which is why it's been so upheavaling is what I'm getting. It's not even a word, upheavaling, because he is Tesla. And the board seems to have drunk deeply that he is Tesla, rather than the actual. Okay, thank you. What I'm getting, my guides are just love it when they slap me up the side of the head. Fleaon is Tesla. If the company had to stand on the value of what it manufactures alone, and they're doing robotics and all sorts of things, it'll get destroyed down to the ground. Without Fleaon, Tesla is I won't say it's a penny stock, but it knows that it's it's being outsold by BYD and all these other electric vehicle cars. The Tesla's got so many faults. Apparently, it's one of the most dangerous. The Cybertruck is one of the most dangerous vehicles to actually be in any sort of accident, and even not an accident, as it can just blows up. Yeah. Without Fleaon, there is no Tesla. Okay. It's not going to work. For whatever reason, it's not going to work. Trying to appease the voters, but it's the death knell. Okay, externally, we've got this trying to stay in control, my way or the highway dictatorship. Internally, unexpected news coming out of left field, something unexpected that is quite emotional and immature. I would love to see the real figures from Tesla. They may present shareholders with a false set of books, but let's see how it goes. The hopes and fears, the strength, the orange... Well, trying to shut the mouth of the orange twerp for starters, but the hope is that there is strength in its devoted, the devoted beasts of Tesla, but its fear is also the lack of strength. Okay, the outcome, an investigation, shining a light in the path, the Chariot, the share price as advertised, the share price in actual. This is sort of chaos, but also inability to move forward, inability to reap what is sown. The truth is brought forward, and the board is going to be at a crossroads, or the share price is going to be at a crossroads. There's actually a really distinct lack of pentacle cards here. This is the only pentacle card. Is that right? Yes, it is. This is the only pentacle card, and this is very much about the diminishing value. Oh, two pentacle cards, inability to reap. Something's happening where you've got then the alchemy, the spinning of it. It's not going to work out in the cold. And then we've got the big stick moment. What I'm getting, so we've got the offer being made, but we've got a legal ruling in it that's just going to end up in an argy-bargy brawl. I don't think the shareholders are going to go for this. Let's have a look. I gather the shareholders still need to vote on it, but it's about a month away before the vote is taken. So, show me how the shareholders are going to react to this. I don't think they're going to like it. Judgment and the Four of Swords, being forced to retreat. I don't think how are the voters going to judge on this $30 billion worth of share package for Fleaon? How are the shareholders going to vote on it? How are the shareholders going to vote on it? There's that judgment card again. Collective awakening, call to arms, heralding the call, challenged by the board that thinks they've got it all, the bloviated share price all lined up. However, you've got the steel, the energy that they're stewing in. There's a feeling of stealing here. In the past, you've got a court ruling or legal action. This will be the 2018 bonus. And then you've got the Page of Swords bringing forward this new truth. Two of Swords, a lot of legal action here. I think they're going to stop it. I don't think they're going to let it go through because there's a harsh truth here amongst the shareholders. I don't think they're going to like it. Here's the infighting, the alchemy, but the out in the cold and the big stick, and then the disappointment. And walking away and feeling betrayed, trying desperately to hang on to their money. I don't think the shareholders are going to go for it. And the board's going to feel like they been betrayed, or Fleaon's going to feel like he's been betrayed. I keep saying this, soon to be ex-CEO of Tesla. Now, I know that was some of the same cards, but, you know, they are shuffled. They didn't need to come out again. So how's Fleaon going to feel? How's it going to go for Fleaon, this $30 billion share deal? I get the feeling he's actually got no money. I just, no usable money. I mean, I hate to think what his expenses are with his compounds and whatever else and the rockets that he keeps blowing up. What's secrets being revealed about contracts and agreements? Something he wants kept hidden that's to do with protecting his money. Death card back up against the wall. We've got the burden on the bottom. A new plan, trying to hatch a new plan to do with big money, but it's going to be diminished. And then we've got this King of Cups energy. The emotional maturity, making a logical declaration. How's Fleaon going to feel? Well, I think he's put the board up to this to try and get some more money out of the system, because I don't know that he's got any. He's got diminishing money. He's trying to get some more out. And, you know, he's beaten and battered and got his back up against the wall. I think he sees the orange twerp going, twilighting, trying to come up with a new plan. Why am I getting that Fleaon wants the money to squirrel away for when he leaves the country? Let me put those back really randomly. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get the money. The board might have proved it, but the shareholders have to. Is Fleaon, oh, well, they're leaving the money in with some of the women in his compound, let me put it that way. Now, I'm just going to point out as well, apparently Zorro Ranch that belonged to a certain allegedly deceased sex trafficking paedophile was used as a baby farm as well. This is the death knell for Tesla, is what I'm getting. Something here is a death knell for Tesla. The cars. Zorro Ranch was used for Epstein to try and create his prodigy. And yes, big yes, when I'm talking about that. Yes. Okay, so show me. And overseas, a harsh truth, and looking overseas, planning for overseas. Is Fleaon planning on squirreling this whatever money he can get? I don't think he's going to get it. Right. Emotionally overwhelming, a cleansing, challenged by the Tower. I thought that was going to be the Magician. Where did the Magician ended up the third one down? Because I saw the Magician pop and I whacked it back in again. New beginnings, new cleansing, but the Tower, and then we've got the Magician, the manipulation, and in the past we've got the looking at the money, looking at the options there, crowning the reading, attempting to take control. But, you know, you've got this fading patriarchal energy. Now, what have I got? I've got through line is 3 major arcana and a cup, an ace, attempting to take control as it's literally imploding through manipulation, and the devil. Gosh. Oh, ick. Treason, betrayal. Is he going to feel betrayed by the shareholders, or are the shareholders going to be betrayed by him, as there is volatile information that is coming forward internally for him? Looking overseas, planning on overseas. We've got the Fool, we've got the Queen of Cups, and then we've got the King of Cups. La 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 over the cliff. The Queen of Cups, something not yet been revealed in that cup that is going to be emotionally isolating, but there is some mature decision being made here. We've got the board members, we've got some sort of action being taken against the board, and the board's going to find itself in retreat, and an inability to harvest. The board might even find itself stripped of shares. You've got the World card, you've got the crusty old king that's on his last legs. Some sort of agreement is made and everything changes. I am wondering whether... Okay, I'm going to grab the yes, no cards. It's 26 minutes and let's get some quick rapid fire answers out of this. Is this ruling by the board? So actually the fact I split the deck and there was the yes card. Was this ruling by the board an attempt to shore up the share price so they can get as much out while they can? Double yes there. Is the car arm of Tesla going down the gurgler, and this is just part of okay, first of all, well, the future is yet to be written, but then I've got 2 yes cards showing yes it is, but they do have options to pull out of this going down the gurgler. I don't think they're going to take them. So yep, it's an attempt to get as much money out as while they can. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving financial advice. They might go up in the short term, but there is no substance to the value. Is Fleaon trying to get his money out so that he can bugger off? Is Fleaon trying to get his money out? You want that one? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not suggesting buying or selling or anything like that. Use your own discretion. You could buy them, they could go up $10 a share to overnight. But just be aware of the fundamentals behind any shares that you invest in directly. Okay, love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.